Today's story is about a boy who seduced his own friend's mom and has sex with her day and night, due to which the lady becomes pregnant. Now one day his friend comes to know about their close relationship. Then it becomes known. To know what happened next with this naughty boy, stay tuned till the end of the movie. If you also have such a naughty friend, then definitely share this video with him. So let's start the movie without wasting any time. At the beginning of the movie, we see a man named Michael, who is a teacher in a school. After that, when Michael and his wife Shauna are checking the assignments of the students at home, Michael's wife Shauna asks that he has given so much time to the students. When asked why he gave less marks, Michael tells him that the children have not written anything special, so why should I give them good marks? Then a student named Michael Claude reads the assignment, in which it was written that Claude has been wanting to go to the house of a student named Rafa for a long time, and then one day he goes to Rafa's house on the pretext of teaching him math. There his eyes fall on Rafa's mother Julie, who is looking. I was very beautiful. After this, Claude gives Rafa a math problem to solve, and comes down. There he sees Rafa's mom, which is a dirty magazine. Now after looking at Julie for some time, Claude comes back to Rafa and tells him that your maths is very bad, so I will have to come every day and give you tuition. Now read all this. After this, Michael tells his wife that this boy's writing skills are very good, and she can become a great writer in future. Then the next day after class, Michael talks to Claude about his assignment, asks and tells him that if Rafa finds out what you think about his mom, then you will be in big trouble. But on this, Claude tells him that I have just written this to teach you, and then he gives Michael the next part of the previous assignment. After this, Michael goes to his wife and tells her about this, and they both start reading the next story. In it, it was written that this time when Claude went to Rafa's house, seeing him, Rafa was shocked. Mom is very happy because of Claude. Rafa had become very intelligent in math. Then when Rafa's mother was leaving from there, Claude started looking at her ass with very dirty eyes. Now after all this, Jaina was feeling very strange that a child. How could he be so stupid? But Michael doesn't care because he was very impressed by Claude's writing skills and his stupidity. Then, the next day, Michael retrieves Claude's family information at school and finds out that Claude's family has shifted here 2 years ago, and they have changed their house several times. Now Michael feels that Claude is very troubled. That is why Michael now decides that he will help Claude in becoming a good writer. Claude also gives Michael a further assignment, in which it is written that when Claude went back to Rafa's house, Rafa and his dad were watching the match, when Rafa's mom comes there and she comes and sits near Claude. After some time, Rafa's dad gets an urgent call and he gets up and leaves from there. Now seeing this, Claude thinks that if the distance between Rafa's mom and dad continues to increase like this, then he will easily defeat Rafa's mom. We'll take this assignment now. When Michael teaches his wife also starts feeling that Claude's writing skills are very good. Then the next day at school, Claude gives another assignment to Michael, which Michael goes home and starts studying with his wife. In it, Claude had written that this time I have given Rafa a very difficult math question to solve. Below is Rafa's mom. Rafa's mom and dad are arguing downstairs, which Claude enjoys seeing. After a while, when Rafa's mom comes out, she sees Claude, but then Claude starts pretending to look at the painting placed in front of him. But Rafa's mom realizes that Claude is listening to them, so at night she tells Rafa's dad that they will have to find another coach for Rafa. Now even Claude is secretly listening to these things, and now he starts feeling very stressed because if this time Rafa does not get good marks in maths, then he will not be able to come to Rafa's house for tuition. Now after thinking a lot, Claude comes up with an idea, and he will give Michael a maths lesson the next day. Michael asks him to steal the paper, and at the same time he also tells him that if he does not do this, then he will stop writing dirty books. Now, Michael gets very upset after hearing this because he wanted to make Claude a Turkish writer of dirty books, so he steals the math papers when Claude tells him to do so, and he gives those papers to Claude. Now the next day, when there is a test, Rafa gets very good marks in it. Seeing this, his mom and dad like it very much, and they give permission to give tuition to Claude and Rafa. After this, Rafa's dad asks Claude to play a football match with him, but Claude refuses him. Because when both of them would go out to play a match, Rafa's mom would be alone at home, due to which he would be able to meet her alone. Then the next day, when Rafa goes to play a match with his dad, Claude would come to Rafa's house. Rafa's mom was alone there, and when she asks, Claude tells her that he has come here to get his maths book. But when his mom starts looking for a math book, she does not find any book there. After this, after seeing Rafa's mom's earring, Claude says that his mom also had a similar earring, but she is no longer in this world. Rafa's mom gets emotional after hearing this, and then both of them start talking after drinking cold drinks. Now, after hearing this story, Michael's wife tells him that if Rafa's dad comes to know about this, he will not leave him alive. But Michael tells her that nothing like this will happen. Now at night, Michael reads another assignment of Claude, in which it is written that this time he was very late at Rafa's house, so Rafa's dad asked him to sleep here. Then, when Rafa goes to show Claude his room, he tells Claude that he is his best friend, and then he starts kissing her. Now from this we come to know that Rafa likes Claude. Then when it is midnight, Claude secretly goes to Rafa's wax room, and he keeps watching him sleeping. Now after reading this, Michael's wife is very much impressed. It seems strange, but Michael tells him that there is nothing wrong in it, and that children of Claude's age are so naughty. Then the next day we see Claude, who is getting closer to Rafa's mom. Later that night, there is a fight between Rafa's mom and his dad, and that fight slowly starts increasing. Then when Rafa's dad goes out of there in anger, then Claude comes there, and he gives a letter to Rafa's mom and goes away. Next day, after reading that letter, Rafa's mom Claude. And then while they are talking, Claude starts imagining Michael. After this, Rafa's mom feels very happy after reading that letter, and she starts kissing Claude right there. Now this Rafa is watching everything secretly from the window, and he feels very bad seeing this, after which he comes to his room and commits suicide to school today. Now after hearing this, Michael feels a little better, and then he asks Claude, "Why did you write a lie in the assignment today?" On this, Claude tells him that he did this because he wanted to make the story a little interesting. Now Michael also started feeling that if Rafa came to know about all this, he would actually commit suicide, so he asks Claude to stop writing all this, but Claude tells him not to. He refuses and he says that I can't stop writing. Now after hearing all this, Michael tells him that it is okay, but from now on I will not read any of your stories. Now after hearing this, Claude throws his next story in the dustbin. Tax goes away, but then even Michael is unable to control himself, and he takes out that story from the dustbin and starts reading it. It was written in it that today Rafa's dad came home very sad because he is very upset with his job. Then Rafa's mom comes there, but she comes and tells them that she is pregnant. Rafa's dad becomes very happy after hearing this, but then Rafa comes there and tells them that Claude will not come to our house anymore, and you guys should find another coach for me. After reading all, Michael goes to Claude and tells him that now you should stop going to Rafa's house. On this, Claude also agrees, and he tells Michael that now he will never write. Then Claude tells the further story to Michael, that today he and Rafa had a fight. It happened because he found out about my and his mom's affair. After this, we see that Claude goes to Rafa's mom to complete his story, but Rafa's mom returns the letter he had written to him. Then Claude tells them that both of us can go away from here, but Rafa's mom refuses her because Claude was very young in age. Now this makes Claude feel very bad, and he starts crying. After this, Claude goes to Michael's house. He comes home where his wife Jana tells him that Michael is not at home yet, to which Claude tells her that I know that he is not at home. That is why I have come here. Later, we see Michael, who is expelled from school because the principal found out that he was the one who stole the paper. Then when Michael comes to his home, his wife gives him the next assignment, from which Michael learns that Claude came here. In that story, it was written that Claude tells Jana that Michael once told him that my wife is barren. That is why we are not having a child. Now Jana gets very angry after hearing this, and she starts quarreling with Claude. Now after reading all this, Michael gets very angry, and he starts fighting with Jana. Now in the last scene of the movie, we see Michael and Claude talking. Michael says to Claude that I can't believe that. Because of the boy, I lost my job, and my wife left me. I am talking to the same boy." Now, after hearing this from Michael, Claude starts laughing, and with this scene the movie ends.